Hey, how's it going? Let's see what's been happening in the news today. Heaps of people love video games. They can be really fun. But as with a lot of other stuff, too much of a good thing can be bad. That's why video game addiction has now been recognised by the World Health Organization as an official disorder.
Yep, it's now on the International Disease Register. Basically, gaming disorder is when video games are having a significant impact on how a person lives their life.
I play creative destruction, which is like Fortnite.
I play a game called Diablo with my dad sometimes, but I mostly play Overwatch.
On the weekends, I usually play 1 or 2 hours, maybe.
Because I'm only allowed to play on the weekends, but then on the weekends I play majority of the time.
Yeah, that's not quite enough. Disorder levels are like not going to school, not socialising, and not sleeping. Experts say the reason why people get addicted to video games is to do with something called dopamine. That's a chemical released by the brain that makes us feel happy. But this feeling can be addictive, and it can lead to kids playing for more than 40 hours a week. The disease register doesn't have an effect on laws, it just identifies disorders for research or treatment purposes. Experts say we now need to spend more time looking into what gaming addiction actually is and how we should deal with it.
I would just try and talk to them as like a friend.
I don't think you'd be able to suddenly stop playing games altogether, but maybe if you slowly get less and less each day, you might be able to stop.
Now that the election's over, there are about to be some big changes in Aussie politics. PM Scott Morrison has just announced his new ministry. That's the group of pollies that help run the country by looking after certain areas called portfolios. A record 7 women have been included, with Bridget McKenzie becoming the first woman to be Agriculture Minister. Meanwhile, Ken Wyatt is the first Indigenous Australian to be named the Minister for Indigenous Affairs. Over in the Labor camp, Anthony Albanese is set to become the party's new leader after being the only Polly to actually put his hand up for the job. Now it's time to take a look at what's happening in the world of sport.
First up, AFL. With just seconds to go, the scores were tied between the Lions and the Dockers, when up stepped Michael Walters. While he was lining up for the goal, the siren went, forcing him to go in for the win.
Strikes it true! Michael Walters wins the game for the Dockers!
I wish I could dunk like this.
Behind him gets to Leonard.
That's Kawhi Leonard helping Toronto win over the Bucks and sending the Raptors through to the NBA Finals for the first time ever. Although some reckon the real winner of the match was Drake, now that the infamous Drake curse looks like it's finally broken. He's a massive Raptors fan, and there's been a bit of a running joke that any team Drake supports always loses. And finally, check out this ref accidentally scoring a goal in a Dutch football game. As you can imagine, the defenders were very, very angry, but at least the ref was respectful and didn't celebrate his goal.
This next segment's all about some seriously strange hobbies. This, my friends, is, well, just listen. It's the sound of a deer, or at least a very good imitation. That's the whole idea of the European Stag Callers Championships in Belarus. 39 stag calling enthusiasts compete to make the best deer sounds using horns and pipes. It's quite the skill, and one hunters have used for centuries to lure animals closer to them. Here it's mostly for sport, but I bet the deer in the surrounding forest are very confused right now. Here's one that isn't for people who neatly make their bed every morning. It's the Japanese Pillow Fighting Championships. It was actually started by some pillow fight loving high school kids, and it's kind of a mix of dodgeball and chess. You have to protect your king from being hit by the pillows, but you can use your duvet as a shield. And depending on your fear level, you may or may not find this last celebration fun. It's Peruvian Clown Day. Hundreds of colourful, quirky characters get together and sing and dance and march through the streets. Peru's been celebrating the traditional kids' entertainers since 2006, and it's all in honour of a famous Peruvian clown who died in the 1980s, which almost makes this whole thing more creepy. That's about it for today, but let us know, how often do you play video games every week? Is it just a little bit or way too much? Comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe.